Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek review going up on YouTube. Not often we do these, but anyway, big week of Premier League and Championship action to review, so let's get straight into it. Starting off in the Premier League and with Manchester City 4, Wolves 1. In the first 30 minutes, it's fair to say City absolutely dominated and got the lead for a Dendoncker goal. Laporte had a goal disallowed in the 44th minute. Wolves against the run of play equalised in the 61st minute, but City running riot in the final 10 minutes to get the win. Really solid win. But anyway, next up on Wednesday, it finished Burnley 1, Leicester 1. Really interesting game. This Matty Vidra put Burnley ahead in the 4th minute, and you were fearing the worst for Leicester. But Kalichi Iheanacho equalised in the 34th minute. I thought Burnley played really well here, and you could probably say they were unfortunate not to win. But Leicester, I am getting a bit worried about them as top 4. I feel they could be fading away like they did last year. Still got a decent gap, but just not on great form at the moment. It finished Sheffield United 1, Villa 0 at Bramall Lane. David McGoldrick with a goal in the 30th minute. Phil Jagielka was somehow sent off in the 57th minute. Not really too sure how, but Sheffield United held on. Really gutsy performance from them. And that's a really, really solid win. As for Villa, that's really, really poor from them. And they're being a bit inconsistent now. They just kind of need to sort it out and get through this run. Because, otherwise they could ruin what's been a really, really solid season for them. It finished Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0 at Selhurst Park. This was probably one of the most dullest games I've seen in a long time. Not a lot happened, but one thing I will say is Roy Hodgson had Ollie sold tactically, and Manchester United, I don't know, they could have to start looking over their shoulders soon, because I don't think top 4 is guaranteed. Same with Leicester, really. They probably do want to watch out for that, because it could start to be getting a bit hairy for them. Finished Fulham 0, Tottenham 1 at Craven Cottage on Thursday evening. Tottenham get the lead through Dele Alli. Really great to see him score after a tough season for him. Fulham really should have had a goal in the second half, had it not been for a really controversial handball which shouldn't have been disallowed. But still, Fulham will be frustrated. They arguably should have got something out of this, but it just shows how far they've come, and in my opinion they still got a great chance of staying up. As for Spurs, they're starting to find some form now, so really, really promising for them. It finished West Brom 0, Everton 1 at the Hawthorns. A goal from Richarlison sealing a win for Everton, and that's a huge win for Everton. After a bit of a sticky patch, it does seem like they're getting on form. West Brom, though, they do seem to be improving as of late. But still, I think games like this, where they're just narrowly edged out by probably a better opponent, is the reason why they won't be in the Premier League next year. And I think they'll be in the Championship next year. It's looking like a really, really big ask for them. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 1 was the score at Anfield. Really, really disappointing for Liverpool. They would probably had the better of the play in the second half, but in the end, Chelsea just looked so dangerous on the break and so much better in general under Thomas Tuchel, and that puts them in a great position now to really get in the top 4. Liverpool now, 5 home defeats on the bounce, just madness. Who'd have said at the beginning of the season that it's looking extremely unlikely they won't get into the top 4, just madness. Finished Cardiff 4, Derby 0 in a really dominant win for Mick McCarthy's Cardiff on Tuesday. Really comfortable win here for Cardiff, as I said. Leandro Bacuna, Kiefer Moore, Bacuna once again, and Vaulks with the goals. And Cardiff just looked so dominant here. Despite having 72% of the possession, Derby just were really poor there. It's probably the first game since Wayne Rooney took over where he's been really tactically outdone. Cardiff in a great position for the playoffs. Derby, I don't think they're out of the relegation battle yet, with some hard games coming up. Coventry 1, Borough 2 was the score on Tuesday evening. Dykesdale with an own goal put Coventry ahead in the first minute before Hall and Saville, just before the end, sealed a big win for Middlesbrough, because you'd have to say if they didn't get a win here, 7 points outside the playoffs with this form that Barnsley, Cardiff, etc. are in, I think you probably could have written playoffs off. But now they still got a fighting chance. Coventry still right in the thick of the relegation battle now. Huddersfield 1, Birmingham 1 was the score at St James's Stadium. Fraser Campbell with a goal in the 63rd minute, and Roberts equalised for Birmingham in the 67th minute. I would say Birmingham were probably slightly the better side. But They just couldn't find a goal. But they definitely do seem to be improving under Aitor Karenko over the past week or two, so they'll take encouragement from that at least. Preston were defeated 2-1 by Millwall at the Den. Ched Evans put Preston in front in the 12th minute before Malone and Bennett for Millwall sealed the win. Big win for Millwall, intense. I don't think they've got much chance for the playoffs, but after questions being asked Gary Rowett earlier in the season, he definitely seems to turn them around, and they're on a decent little run now. But Preston, their form is a bit concerning, and the season just petering out into mid-table. Forest v Luton, the score was 1-0 to Luton. Ryan Tunnicliffe with the goal in the 64th minute. And to be honest, I think Forest will be really disappointed with that, because it did look like they've been improving quite a lot recently. But yeah, it just seems to take another step back here. But as for Luton, that's 2 wins on the trot now. Definitely seems to be improving. But I think both teams now realistically are just seeing out the season in mid-table, and I can't see them going anywhere higher or lower or whatever, to be honest. So really a bit of a dead rubber. Reading 1, Blackburn 0 was the score at the Medeski Stadium on Tuesday. George Pushkas, on his return to the team in the 24th minute with a goal. He was outstanding. But a huge win for Reading with all the teams around and winning. And after a bit of an iffy run, it does look like they are finding some form again now. Into staying 5th. Still got a few point gap. But yeah, I still think they could be okay. Blackburn, though, form's really concerning. I give it a few weeks before Mowbray's gone. Norwich 1, Brentford 0 was the score on Wednesday at Carrow Road. What a huge win this was for Norwich, and a huge defeat this was for Brentford. Emi Buendia with an incredible goal in the 26th minute to seal the win. Brentford, they were really poor here. Top 2 is looking ominous now. But Norwich, 10 points clear. You'd have to say that's them promoted to the Premier League next year, unless they have an incredible collapse, which at this rate I just simply can't see happening. QPR 1, Barnsley 3 was the score at Loftus Road on Wednesday. Dyke put Barnsley in front in the 23rd minute before goals from Charlie Austin levelled it up, Mowat with a peach of a free kick, and Carlton Morris in the second half sealed the win for Barnsley. And Barnsley were incredible here. QPR weren't even that bad, but they were well beaten. Just coming!